Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session of the Montgomery County Council. We're glad to have you all today. Just two notes. Our colleague, Councilmember Lori Ann Sales, will be virtual for today's meeting, and Councilmember Andrew Friedson is on an economic development trip on behalf of the County Council and will not be attending the meeting today. We're kicking it off this morning with a great celebration of our for National Agriculture Day, and I'm going to turn it over to Councilmembers Balcom and Lukey.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ag Day in Montgomery County. So if I could have all the farmers and support come on down. We've got a great crew with us this morning. And we really appreciate everybody. We really appreciate everybody being here bright and early. We had a text or an email at 6:10 this morning from one of our farmers saying that they couldn't be here this morning because the calves were birthing. So we appreciate everything that you do, and for those of you who couldn't be here. I also want to mention I'm here this morning with Councilmember Don Lukey. We have the great honor of supporting the Ag Reserve, and it's our pleasure to do it every day. Councilmember Friedson is also on the proclamation, who's been a strong supporter of farmers, and the prior council member for the Ag Reserve, and he couldn't be with us today. I just wanted to mention that. So I just wanted to talk just briefly. Not only is the Ag Reserve an important environmental asset to the county, but it really is an economic driver for Montgomery County. Over 500 farms, 10,000 employees. Our Ag Reserve really contributes to our vibrant economy, and not only do you feed us, but you help provide the economic impact for the county. And I also wanted to mention that we have table crops, farmers markets, we have grain, food production, horticulture, livestock, equine industry, and we support you all. Today is a great reminder that how important farming is. Farming is a business, and we always want to remember that the county needs to help you survive every day, and we just want to show our support and have you here with us. I'm going to turn it over to Don Lukey.
Thank you. It's such a privilege to be able to represent this community alongside Councilmember Balcom and everything they do. And when we say that they are true community partners in our work, they really are. There's not a time that either of us reach out to the folks who are assembled here who represent a much bigger, larger agricultural and economic community here in the county with 583-ish farms here in Montgomery County's Ag Reserve. And they are the ones who persistently and consistently step up and deliver on behalf of their bigger, broader community. They are such a true joy to work with. And as we were just saying upstairs, they are not immune to the stresses that we're feeling from down the road, as I'm going to say it. I don't like to call it an administration. I'm not really sure that's worthy of that title. But this community is also feeling the impacts of what is happening down the road. And we owe every duty to make sure that we are supporting them and their time of need, as well as they have consistently shared, delivered, and given to our communities in need here in Montgomery County. And so with that, we want to have several of our representatives here today speak with you. So first, I'm going to turn it over to Chris Miller from Lone Oak Farm Brewery in my district, District 7, to speak.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having us here today. On behalf of Lone Oak Farm, my family and my partners here, we're so grateful to the county, to all the different parts of the county, including the Office of Agriculture, as well as the Soil Conservation District and the County Council, who have been incredibly supportive of our operation, as well as all of the operations here standing behind me. It is incredibly important to remember that it is through economic opportunity that we're able to preserve the land that we're operating on and that the communities can come and enjoy. So it is through the county council and their efforts here that allow us to operate and pursue the different industries that we all are a part of. So with gratitude and Thanksgiving, we're here today on this proclamation to accept thanks, but also give thanks, because that's what it's about. The authenticity that is behind us, whether it's the people, the places, the products, the processes, all of those things tie together to make America what it is and to make Montgomery County what it is. So thank you again for having us here today.
Thank you, Chris. And now I'd like to, and Charles, would you like to come up too? I'd like to invite up Trifina and Charles Choti from AfriThrive to speak.
Good morning, everybody. Trifina Choti is my name, and I'm accompanied with my husband and my co-worker, Charles Choti. Before I give the remarks, I can invite him just to say hello.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, as Trifina has indicated, we have been working together in the food industry and promoting the interests of the community, particularly the immigrants, African immigrants, and we appreciate the support from the local, the county government a lot. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So you will allow me to give my brief remarks, and so I want to take this chance to appreciate council members Falcom and Ludike and Fritzen, who is not here, for the opportunity to organize and celebrate this day, which is the National Agriculture Day. We come here to celebrate the hardworking farmers in the county who are here and some who did not make it here, because they sustain us, the land that nourishes us, and also the food system that connects us all. So for me, this work is deeply personal. I grew up in a very humble village in southwestern Kenya, where farming was not just a necessity, but a way of life. From a young age, I was socialized into farming, planting, weeding, and harvesting crops that fed our family and community. Before and after school, that was my playground, tending to the crops. So that connection to the land has never left me. Even today, the most refreshing and grounding experience for me is to tend to the plants at our cultural farm. There's something deeply fulfilling about seeing food grow, knowing that it will nourish a family. And for that, I have a deep respect for the land that gives us life and connects us to our ancestors. Before the pandemic hit in 2020, it laid bare the deep inequalities we have in our communities. It reminded us the power of farming to heal, to nourish, and to uplift. That moment, it reaffirmed my hope. And soon I'll quit my international development job to work at AfriThrive to ensure that no family goes hungry and the small-scale beginner farmers have the support they need to thrive. As we approach another growing season, many farmers are facing enormous challenges. You all understand. The recent changes down in DC have really affected each and every farmer standing here and those who are not here. Especially for beginner farmers, they're most challenging right now. The most pressing challenge remains land access. Without land, they cannot build a sustainable business, supply culturally appropriate food, or contribute to our local food system. This is why, as a county, we must stand together and we must act now to make land available for the farmers who need us. In 2010, Montgomery County Department of Parks set forth a vision to establish an incubator farm, a place where farmers could receive training, access land, and develop successful farming businesses. Yet, 14 years later, that vision has not been realized. Meanwhile, the Department of Parks has accessible land, about 935 acres, that it leases out, while small organic farmers who need small-sized parcels of land are not included in those lease agreements. This is a missed opportunity. We must ask ourselves, why can't we set aside land for our new farmers who have joined the county? I've been championing this for years now, knocking on the doors, engaging our leaders here and beyond, and advocating for land access. But these doors remain closed. Yet, if we are serious about food security, the diversity in our county, and about strengthening our local economy and preserving the agricultural heritage of Montgomery County, then we must invest in an incubator farm. Our county has a great opportunity to be a leader, as it has been in many fronts in the state of Maryland. We need to designate land for an incubator farm to provide farmers with access to land, training, and business development resources. We need to ensure that the available leases in the county include small organic farmers who need small-sized parcels of land to grow food for our communities. We also need to prioritize county funding and incentives to ensure that those who are beginning this journey into farming have the necessary support to grow and sustain our operations. I must applaud the county for this county council for creating the Office of the Food Systems and Resilience. I can tell you, as a farmer and as a leader in the nonprofit, we are feeling the impact, the positive impact this office is creating, because we are partnering with the small farmers to buy the produce and get it to the families that need it most. We can do more. We have a dynamic team at the Office of Ag, led by Mike. I know that we can do if we support them, because they can do more in providing the technical assistance and the resources like land needed for us to grow our county and overcome the challenge of food insecurity. At AgriThrive, we are ready to partner with others to make this vision a reality. We have seen firsthand impact what these changes, when resources are available to farmers, what the farmers can do in providing the needed culturally appropriate food. So today, it's an agriculture day. I want to urge our county leaders who are here, policymakers, community partners, to take action. Let's work together to establish an incubator farm, expand land access, and invest in the future of our agricultural economy. Because when we support the farmers, we invest in the health, economy, and resilience of Montgomery County. Let's not wait another decade. Let's make it happen now. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you both, and thank you for those great words. And I both mentioned, but I forgot to mention Mike Scheffel. So our Office of Agriculture does such a tremendous job, and so we appreciate all the work that Mike Scheffel does. And Heather Bruskin from the Office of Food Systems Resilience, thank you so much for everything that you do. Okay, so let's read a proclamation. Whereas today we are recognizing National Agricultural Day to celebrate and uplift the significant contributions of our agricultural community in Montgomery County and across the country. And
whereas agriculture is all around us, from the food we eat, the items we use, the clothes we wear, and the fuel that powers our world. And
Whereas this year's Agricultural Day theme is Together We Grow. In Montgomery County, we have been committed to highlighting the importance of agriculture and expanding opportunities for our youth to learn about agriculture firsthand. And
Whereas, as a county, we are committed to agricultural literacy, and our Department of Agriculture is at the forefront of this work. And
whereas Montgomery County's agricultural producers contribute more than $280 million to our economy each year, with the county being home to over 70,000 acres of agriculturally assessed lands and over 583 farms that employ more than 10,000 people. And
whereas our agricultural reserve is a testament to our commitment to our strong agricultural heritage and continues to be a landmark in land preservation across the nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Council Members Marilyn Balcom, Andrew Friedson, and Don Ludke recognize today as National Agriculture Day, where we celebrate our agricultural producers for the enrichment they provide to our daily lives through their tireless work. Montgomery County remains committed to uplifting and empowering our agricultural partners every single day. Presented on this 18th day of March in the year 2025, signed by myself, Councilmember Balcom, Councilmember Friedson, and Council President Kate Stewart.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us this morning for National Agriculture Day. Thank you again to Councilmember Balcom, Friedson, and Lukey for this presentation this morning. We will now move on to general business. Madam Clerk, will you please share today's announcements?
Good morning. Public hearings on the proposed FY26 operating budgets, FY26 to 31, Public Services Program and Fiscal Policy for the Montgomery County Government, Montgomery College, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, WSSC Water, and Montgomery County Public Schools will be held on Monday, April 7th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. and 7 o'clock p.m. and Tuesday, April 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. and 7 o'clock p.m. Those wishing to provide testimony in person or virtually must register in advance via the Council's website. Written, audio, and video testimony may also be submitted via the Council's website. The Council will also hold a public hearing on additional amendments to the FY25 to 30 Capital Improvements Program on April 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Those wishing to provide testimony in person or virtually must register in advance via the Council's website. Written, audio, and video testimony may also be submitted via the Council's website. Also, agenda item number 8, a capital improvements program work session on the Housing Opportunities Commission has been removed from the agenda and will be rescheduled to a later date. Finally, Councilmember Sales is expected to attend today's meeting virtually. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. The minutes from February 24th, 2025, State Legislative Session, February 25th, 2025, Council Session, and February 26th, 2025, Public Hearing have been circulated to the Council for review. Are there any objections to approving these minutes? Seeing none, these minutes are approved. All right, this is legislative session day number 7, and the first agenda item is the introduction of bills. The first bill for introduction is Expedited Bill 9-25, Technical Corrections. The lead sponsor is myself, the Council President. A public hearing and action is scheduled for April 1st, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Ms. Wellens, oh, there you are. Any update on this?
No, thank you, Madam President. Simply the technical corrections bill that the council does periodically, usually every couple of years. I believe the most recent one was in 2023. An exciting bill just to really clean up measure and to correct items in the code that may be amiss or grammatical issues. And just a quick thank you to the Office of the County Attorney for assisting us with putting this together. Thank you.
Terrific. Seeing no one wanting to speak on this, this bill is introduced. The second bill for introduction is Expedited Bill 10-25, Personnel and Human Resources, Hiring Displaced Federal Workers. The lead sponsor is Council Vice President Juando, and the co-sponsors are Council Members Friedson, Mink, Sales, Balcom, and myself. A public hearing is scheduled for April 1st, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I'll first turn it over to Council Vice President Juando.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you for your co-sponsorship and all of my colleagues, Councilmembers Friedson, Mink, Sales, and Balcom. This is Bill 1025, and it would extend the Montgomery County's hiring preference to displaced federal workers who have been displaced since January 20th, 2025. This bill will ensure that the qualified federal employees receive earlier consideration in our hiring process and would guarantee them an interview if they meet the position qualifications. Now, we know more than 1,000 Montgomery County residents who work for the federal government, who are public servants, have already been affected by recent layoffs, with more expected. These public servants are educated, experienced, dedicated, and actually are more diverse than the overall workforce, and they bring valuable skills that our county needs. A few weeks ago, Governor Moore specifically called on local governments to take action to find placements for federal workers, and we have followed that heed with WorkSource Montgomery, with a series that the Council President kicked off to provide resources to federal workers, and this legislation is part of answering that call as well. We need to retain our talent, we need to prevent brain drain, and we need to help protect our tax base. But most importantly, we need to send a strong and clear message that we value civil service and public service here in Montgomery County. So I thank all my colleagues for co-sponsoring, and we'll have a press conference later today where I'll go into more detail, but really appreciate the support. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Council Vice President Juando. Ms. Wellens, anything to add to that?
Nothing to add. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much. This bill is introduced. Again, thank you to Council Vice President Juando. And as he mentioned, we are continuing the United in Service webinar, and Council Vice President Juando is going to be hosting the next one tomorrow evening. It's a busy week for him. With that, now we will move on to call bills for final reading. This is agenda item number 2, and we have Bill 27-24, Animal Control, Impoundment, and Disposition for final reading. The Public Safety Committee recommends approval with amendments. I'll turn it over to Chair Katz if you want to share the Public Safety Committee's recommendations.
Thank you, Madam President. Bill 2724 and the co-lead sponsors were the Public Safety Committee, Council Members Lukey, Mink, and myself. And the co-sponsors are Council President Stewart, Council Vice President Juando, Council Members Balcom, Glass, Albernaz, Sales, and Friedson. And we'd also like to thank Director Harefield and Lavu Nadeau and Logan Anbinder for their work on this as well. The intent of the bill is to help address overcrowding at the animal shelter and shorten the timeline for adoption. Under county law, there is a 5-day holding period, And this bill will reduce the hold time to 3 days, which is the current state law. The bill also revises notice requirements to be consistent with the current practice of also posting on an animal owner's door. The Public Safety Committee held a work session on March 10th and voted 3-0 in support of the bill with amendments, which include clarifying language supporting additional notice being sent in event of an animal seizure to ensure due process rights, and applying the reduction in hold time to stray animals versus those that are seized from an owner. And I'm going to turn, with your indulgence, I'll turn it over to Ms. Nadeau for any additional information.
Thank you,
Madam
Chair Katz. Ms. Nadeau?
Nothing additional from me. Those were the two amendments made by the committee. And the amended version should be in your staff report.
Great. So we have a committee recommendation with amendments. I am not seeing anyone else who would like to speak. So we have this recommendation from the Public Safety Committee. This is a roll call vote. So Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lukey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lukey votes yes. Councilmember Mink?
Yes.
Councilmember Mink votes yes. Councilmember Sales?
Yes.
Councilmember Sales votes yes. Councilmember Glass?
Yes.
Councilmember Glass votes yes. Councilmember Katz?
Yes.
Councilmember Katz votes yes. Councilmember Albornoz?
Yes.
Councilmember Albornoz votes yes. Councilmember Fana Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Fana Gonzalez votes yes. Councilmember Balcom?
Yes.
Councilmember Balcom votes yes. Councilmember Dewando?
Yes.
Councilmember Dewando votes yes. Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.
Councilmember Stewart votes yes.
All right. Our next agenda item for consideration is action on a resolution to establish the Infrastructure Funding Work Group. The Government Operations and Fiscal Policy Committee recommends approval with amendments. I will just, as chair of the Government Operations and Fiscal Policy Committee, give a general overview and head it over to Ms. Nadeau. First, I want to thank Ms. Nadeau, Mr. Ali, and Ms. Dunn for all their work on this. During the Government Operations and Fiscal Policy Committee work sessions and the full council discussions on impact taxes this fall, we all acknowledge and recognize that there are flaws in the current impact tax system that require further study and new creative solutions to how we fund infrastructure. The Government Operations Committee recommended the formation of a work group, as did our planning board, to study the county's infrastructure needs and provide recommendations on how funding for those needs can be generated. The GO Committee has worked on the resolution that we have before Council today and is recommending adoption 3-0. During our committee session, we did make some changes to the resolution that had been introduced. Broadly, these changes were in 3 areas: the scope of the work group, composition, and facilitation. I'm just going to talk about those generally, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Nadeau so she can go over the specifics. But on scope, we had a lively discussion in government operations on how to make sure that we are capturing what we need to for this work group, but to be specific enough for this work group to actually get something done and provide us actionable recommendations. So we specify in the amended resolution to define infrastructure to include schools, transportation, and parks. In addition to that, we added that the work group should balance infrastructure needs with the county policies such as housing, climate resiliency, and economic development. We also added specific racial equity and social justice requirements to the resolution and the final report. In addition, composition was also a topic discussed, and I know this was something that we received a good deal of public comment on. We did add, thanks to Councilmember Glass and Councilmember Friedson, for the recommendations to add 1 for-profit and 1 nonprofit developer. We removed 1 of the Montgomery County Public Schools representative and kept 1. We removed the DPS, Department of Permitting Services, and the Department of Housing and Community Affairs and State Highway representatives from actually serving on the work group, but they will be agencies that we direct the work group to speak with and collaborate with. And I think then we ended up with 12 people on the work group, and you can see on page 7 of the packet the complete composition that we're recommending. Finally, we had a discussion on having the council hire a facilitator versus having a chair from our central staff. We just recommending a chair to be appointed by and chosen by the executive director of the council. Mainly our conversation centered around timing, cost and expertise, and to ensure that the work group is the council work group. And we felt to meet all those goals, it was best to have the work group chaired by someone on our central staff. And so I don't know if Councilmember Katz, as my colleague on government operations fiscal policy, if you had anything to add?
I don't, Madam President. You did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Ms. Nadeau, any other specifics you'd like to highlight for the council?
Not much to add from me either. I know this is a bit unusual, but since there were so many changes made, there's both a redlined version and then a clean version in the packet, so you can kind of compare the two and see what changed. As noted, the membership went from 14 to 12 by both adding and subtracting different members. For the scope of the work group, the committee did discuss repairs a lot and decided to focus on capacity instead. Planning had recommended, as well as other stakeholders, adding different things to the definition of infrastructure, and the GO committee instead chose to make sure that the work group focuses on county policies in a broader sense, but still keep that focus on schools, transportation, and parks. There was a concern about adding more racial equity and social justice requirements. There's a list of questions on page 4, and the committee decided to sort of shorten that list of questions into the 5 big topics and make sure that that's factored both into the mid-report and then the final report. And then to make up for not including everyone in the work group, because again, the goal is for them to have a small enough number to get some work done, there are more specific requirements added in terms of what that outreach should look like, including definitely meeting with SHA and municipalities. And the final report will have an appendix that should include all the outreach and feedback that was received so that the committee can see and hear who was heard from during the process. And then the final note is during the public hearing, the county executive had recommended that the final report be due in December. Given the work that this work group has to do and that budget just started, the committee found that timeline might be a bit too short, so chose not to change the timeline. That was in the original resolution. And that's all from me.
Thank you, Ms. Nadeau. I have Councilmember Glass.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate the work that you and the Government Operations Committee did to put this work group together. It's something that a lot of us had been talking about because there is near universal agreement in Rockville that the current policy is not working. The original impact taxes, the policy for impact taxes was started about 40 years ago. And it's time that we take another look and rethink this policy, because as we continue to grow and develop and modernize, we recognize there are flaws, but there are continuing needs. And the focus on our schools and transportation and parks is exactly what this work group should be doing. I appreciate the committee rethinking the makeup so that we could have for-profit and nonprofit partners who are the ones who actually pay these impact taxes, to see how they can help support our growth while also doing the work of building homes in Montgomery County. The two go hand in hand, and I look forward to the important recommendations that will eventually come out of this group. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Glass. Council Vice President Joando.
Thank you. I really appreciate the work. I just wanted to make sure, so I'm looking at the redlined version. So there were 2 MCPS representatives. One was removed to make room for some of the others, and then you also removed, looks like, permitting and housing and community affairs. Were those basically the puts and takes?
Yes, so the executive had testified actually recommending adding a DOT representative, so schools and transportation were even. So the committee technically took that recommendation and made them even by removing an MCPS rep. And then DHCA and DPS were removed because while they administer a lot of our housing goals and the impact tax fees, they're not involved in the policy end of things.
Got it. And so presumably this task force will, or work group, excuse me, will make recommendations. They will vote on recommendations that come out, and so the numbers matter for that reason as well.
So there was a discussion at committee regarding the numbers, in fact, about how that would work if they have to vote. Obviously, we always hope our work groups get along and everything is unanimous, but we understand that that may not always happen. I believe when we did the development review work group last year, the group itself decided how it was going to decide if and when to vote on things. So the committee took a similar approach here, where the resolution doesn't specifically say that they have to vote, but they are going to have to issue that final report with recommendations. So if the work group chooses to do votes, they could note that in their final report.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you. As chair of the Education Committee, I'm glad they're still there, but it makes sense. I think the people you added, we want to have a fulsome group, so I appreciate the committee's work, and I'm happy to support it. Thank you.
Great. Councilmember Mink.
Thank you. Really appreciate the work that's been done on this. This is important, and I'm really eager to see the recommendations that come out of it. Agree with the remarks by the Vice President. Something for us to keep in mind, but I think it makes sense what was done here. And then also wanted to just loop back to the question of maintenance, and I understand why that was done as well. But that is also an issue that I think it's going to be important for us to come back on and get eyes on. And I'll just draw an analogy with what we did, what we're working on doing with MCPS and the Board of Ed in terms of kind of overhauling how they're approaching their, their scheduling there, and really putting a big emphasis on, the balance of maintenance and making sure that we're getting that work done on the front end. And so figuring out how that's going to interplay with this work is an important piece. And so I think it'll be important for us to loop back and think about a systemic way that we can analyze how we're approaching that on the county side as well, so that we're really looking at the full funding gap between the infrastructure task force reports versus the the ideal versus the current level of effort there to include maintenance and repairs. Thanks.
Great. All right. Not seeing any other speakers. We have a recommendation from Government Operations and Fiscal Policy Committee. Those in favor of approving this resolution, please raise your hand. And that is everyone present. All right. Did Lori? Okay, I didn't see. Yeah. She's over here. I got her. Sorry, I was looking up there. Yeah. Appreciate the help. Okay, we are a bit early. Thank you, everyone, for that. Really looking forward to this work group. Next, we have our 6 items, our work sessions and reports on the committee recommendations for several capital improvement amendments. I just want to note that the amendments that are being discussed today are from the county executive's January 15th transmittal and prior agency proposals. The county executive did transmit another batch of CIP amendments on Friday, March 14th, which, as the clerk noted, will go to public hearing on April 8th. We do expect more CIP amendments to come over. As we all have discussed, this is a very fluid budget process this year. And so we expect those related amendments to be taken up by council committees in conjunction with our operating budget reviews in April and early May. But it's never too soon to get a jump on understanding the CIP amendments that are before us. And so we're going to kick it off first with economic development, and I'm going to turn it over first to the chair of the Economic Development Committee, Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, Madam President. This is always very exciting, right? Talking about money and projects moving forward that we've been waiting for a very, very long time. So the Economic Development Committee had 2 projects. They both have full support by the committee. The first one I have seen for a long time is the White Oak Science Gateway redevelopment project. I'm just going to highlight one thing before I pass it to Mr. Ali. I think the most important thing is to emphasize the schedule, honestly, because people want to see movement going on, and based on the schedule that they gave us, and the good thing is that they're working closely with our friends from DOT, Montgomery Planning, DGS as well. We are supposed to see, we have by the, let's see, collaboration with Montgomery County and GSA to progress the plans for submission to achieve the planning board and DPS approvals by October or November of this year. So that's something that we're gonna track and make sure that it happens. And that is all I'm gonna say. That, I mean, I'm glad that it's finally moving along. And then the second project, very quick, is the Life Sciences and Technology Centers that we have also full support. And with that, I'm gonna ask our Economic Development staff to provide more details for the full council.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Yeah, as the chair mentioned, the first project is the White Oak Science Gateway Redevelopment Project. And the amendment basically just reflects that the project timeline has been accelerated with the bulk of the work to be completed in FY26 and the project to close out by FY28. This reflects just sort of the headlines in the newspaper about the progress on the project and the new development team that was announced last year. And they submitted some additional testimony for the committee on the work that they've been doing that sort of supports the need for this accelerated timeline. And I also think there was a little bit of balancing the money spread across the 6 years for the full CIP as well. So that's sort of all reflected in the changes here. And then for the Life Sciences and Technology Centers, which is the CIP project that supports upgrades to the incubators, it just reflects the reduction of $1 million in state aid, which ultimately wasn't realized.
All right, not seeing anyone with any, Councilmember Mink.
I just wanted to give a big thank you to the Econ Committee for their work on this and for supporting the amendment to this project and for just being great supporters of the Viva White Oak project and of this area in general, and really want to extend that thanks as well to the full council. You all have been a great team on making sure that the work in this area gets done and that we are remedying where things have been slow rolled back in the past, and we're moving full steam ahead here and very, very much appreciate that. We're excited about the momentum with a new developer at Viva White Oak, MCB. Looking forward to getting all the pieces in place to finally break ground on this project that East County residents have been waiting for over a decade. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Mink. All right, not seeing any other comments. Thank you, Mr. Ali, for that update. And next capital improvement program work session is on culture and recreation, and I will turn it over to Council Vice President Chawando.
Thank you very much. I see we've got our great Director of Recreation, Robin Riley, coming up. We also have the great former Director of Recreation sitting up here with us. The committee recommended approval of all amendments, but conditioned its recommendation for the recreation facilities refurbishment indoor pools project on the assumption that the proposed funding is sufficient to support a facility assessment at the only indoor swim center. And we also have Director Dice in OMB as well here. DGS confirmed that there was sufficient funding to complete the facility assessment on our February, when we had that meeting. Two of the amended projects included an FY25 supplemental appropriation for the Silver Spring Recreation and Aquatic Center, and the refurbishment supplemental appropriation in the amount of $2,043,000 was approved by the council on March 11th, so thank you for that. The Silver Spring and Recreation and Aquatic Center will go to council action at a further date following a revision for the amount requested. Did I leave you anything or miss anything?
That was everything. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything from Director Riley or Mr. Dice? Okay.
Learn to shut up.
All right.
Learn to take yes as an answer. Director Dice. Thank you. I am not seeing any colleagues who wish to comment, and I do want to thank the Culture and Education and Culture Committee for going over this and particularly as we look at our Silver Spring Recreation and Aquatic Center. I know there's a lot of work that goes into that building, but I can say that residents across the county and the downtown Silver Spring area are just thrilled with having that. It's a great facility, and thank you to DGS and our Recreation Department.
And I should mention, this was a PHP recommendation.
Okay.
We, even though we have culture, but since Councilman Friedson is not here, I'm stepping up as the next senior member. So,
thank you very much for that. All right, you all are done. Thank you. Our next item is a work session on the capital improvement program amendments for the police department, and we'll have Councilmember Katz as Chair of Public Safety review that.
Thank you, Madam President. The Public Safety Committee had a work session on March 3rd on the County Police Department CIP projects, and we voted 3-0 in support. I see Assistant Chief Frank is here as well. There are 4 projects that we discussed. The 6th Police District, which is project cost has remained the same, but spending was accelerated in FY24, and we're expecting the station to be operational this summer. I watch it every day as I drive past, and I think we're going to get there, right, Mr. Dice? The Olney Satellite Police Substation, approval of state funds to aid in planning, design, and construction of the station. The third was Public Safety Communications Center Phase 2. The project costs remain the same but extended into FY27 and FY28. And the last was Outdoor Firearms Training Center. Its recommended amendments push this project beyond the FY30 for fiscal reasons. This project has been delayed many times, and the Public Safety Committee has had past discussions and wanting to see something happen and to find a way to move forward with the project. That said, our last Public Safety Committee discussion, it was recognized there is a need for a new program of requirements that outlines updated specifications and needs for this range. This project was initially included in FY07 through 12 CIP, and consideration needs to be taken regarding safety concerns, outdated equipment, and the need for a scenario-based tactical training area. The committee requested additional information from the county executive regarding cost and source of funding for a new program of requirements. We want to also thank Chief Yamada and the department for its work, and we'd also like to thank Ms. Farag for her informative packets and turn it over to her with your indulgence, Madam President, for any additional information if she has any.
Great. Thank you, Chair Katz. Ms. Farag?
I don't have anything to add. Public Safety Committee Chair Katz covered everything.
Terrific. Mr. Dice, you good with this one too?
I will just wanted to note, to brag on yourselves, the 6th District Police Station, which does open late spring, is our first net zero, the only net zero police station in the region. So it's something, again, Montgomery County takes the lead in.
Thank you very much, Director Dice. I have Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez.
Just because you said that, I look forward to the Police Station 4, District 4, moving along very soon, and also having all this beautiful net zero and everything else that you want to add to it, because I'm desperate on that one. Thank you.
We have begun working on the POR. We have the completed POR for the police station. We're working with Park Police as well, so it'll be a combined facility.
All right, terrific. That is our review of the capital improvement program for the amendments for the police. So thank you for joining us today. Agenda item 7 is a work session on amendments to the capital improvement program for transportation projects. And I will turn it over to the chair of the Transportation and Environment Committee, Councilmember Lass.
Thank you very much, Madam President. The Transportation and Environment Committee took up the transportation projects within the CIP, which include approximately 16 projects that range from mass transit to roads to pedestrian safety facilities to bikeways to bridges and highway maintenance. To be more specific, those projects include an extension of the bus rapid transit along Colesville Road, Route 29, up to Howard County, bus stop improvements, North Bethesda Metro Station North entrance, Goshen Road South, highway noise abatement, bikeway program minor projects, Good Hope Road shared use path, the 198 sidewalk improvements, transportation improvements for schools, Beach Drive Bridge, along with the Garrett Park Road Bridge and the Gregg Road Bridge, and residential and rural road rehabilitation as well. There was one change that the committee made, and that was returning Summit Avenue extension back into the CIP. This has been an ongoing back and forth between the council and the executive branch, and the committee unanimously voted to include Summit Avenue, and we asked for consideration among our colleagues to try to find the appropriate funding for this shovel-ready project, which is not simply a road extension, but it is economic development and housing. The town of Kensington has put in a lot of time, effort, and study to ensure that this project be the whole package, in which we support the extension of a road, and they work with affordable housing providers to build more housing, and the small businesses that will also line that street. And so that is the one change that we made unanimously as a committee. And I'll yield back to you as the district council member as well, Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you very much, Chair Glass, and I want to thank my colleagues for putting back in consideration of Summit Ave extension. As the chair said, it is the whole package, and we need to be looking at it this way. Mr. Kenny, before I take questions from my colleagues, anything else to add?
Just to reflect how that changes the big picture of the transportation CIP. The amendments that the county executive transmitted were a net roughly $19 million decrease in the total transportation CIP. This moving back the $31 million for this project means that we're now at about a $12 million increase in the transportation CIP. So it's sort of on the other end of that. And this is, all of course subject to resources as they're available.
As well as the other CIP amendments we received on Friday. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah, if I could just add to that real quick, the county executive's amendments to the CIP in March, the total reduction was about $39 million due to write-down and recordation taxes, and additionally the delayed impact taxes from Bill 2244. Those further reduced our availability of resources in the CIP.
Thank you. Councilmember Albornoz.
Thank you. I just really want to express my appreciation to the committee for unanimously supporting putting that very important project back for discussion. It checks so many boxes and I think makes so much sense and has a great deal of community support. While obviously, we're in uncharted territory here, this is a project I will continue to actively support, and thank again the committee for their leadership on that.
Thank you. Councilmember Malcolm.
Thank you. I just wanted to add my support for adding the project back, and just to convey that this should not be a surprise. We had this discussion last year. The council unanimously added it back last year, and so it was disappointing to see the budget come over without it. And as I said, it shouldn't have been a surprise, and I support adding it back. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Councilmember Mee.
Thank you. Agree with all that. Appreciate the work of the committee. I also wanted to highlight my thanks for the 198 project being expanded from the 5-foot to the 10-foot. That's important to the community. Noting also important to the community are the issues impacting kind of the broader stretch of road there, for which we need state help. And I know that we have state colleagues who are working on that, but I think important for us to note that that's a major priority moving forward for us to keep eyes on as well. And also wanted to give a shout out to the District 14 team for helping secure the funds for the noise abatement.
Director Coughlin, did you want to?
Just following on that comment, I wanted to mention we had a discussion at committee about changing the name of the project, and we elected to leave the name the same so that it's consistent with the state grant language. But you're correct about the change in the scope of the project.
Yes, understood, and thank you for including that explanation there for folks.
Thank you, Director Conklin. All right, seeing no other council members with questions or comments, thank you very much, Mr. Kenny, and to DOT. As the clerk previously noted, agenda item number 8 has been removed from today's agenda, so we're going to move on to agenda item number 9, a work session on amendments to the CIP for Health and Human Services, and I will turn it over to the Chair of Health and Human Service, Councilmember Albanaz.
Jeez. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Not a great deal of adjustments in the CIP as proposed, so, and I want to welcome back Ms. Hold on real quick. Sorry about that. Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez for being with us today. It's great to have you back. So I will turn it over to her to give any highlights and then see if Dr. Bridgers wants to add anything.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Thank you. The Joint HHS and ENC Committee reviewed 3 umbrella projects all around childcare renovations for ADA remediation, playgrounds, and childcare facility replacement projects. You'll note that there was, over the 6-year period for the 3 projects, a total decrease of $6.8 million, with a shift of $13.7 million into the beyond 6-year period. For FY26 specifically, expenditures decreased by about $577,000. You can see the specific projects for each of these umbrella projects within the staff report on circle pages 2, 3, and 4. And while most of the projects involved a less than 10% change, we do note, and those that were greater than 10% were mostly a decrease, that there was a 295% increase for the Martin Luther King Jr. Recreation Park childcare renovation, childcare facility project, replacement project. And that's mainly due to new construction and subsequent stormwater management and electrical work costs that were not originally known at the beginning of the project scope. Otherwise, the Joint Committee recommends approval as submitted by the Executive for all 3 umbrella projects, and as the Chair noted, that is mainly due to the fact that these projects reflect reevaluated implementation schedule feasibility, and as Mr. Dice noted in the committee meeting, we are going to be looking at a continual shift of these expenditures and changes as each project is reevaluated within each umbrella project.
Thank you. And it was a unanimous vote, Madam Chair.
Okay,
Madam President.
Thank you. Director Dice, Director Bridges, anything to add? No? Okay.
Good morning, Madam President. I like saying that. It has a good ring to it. Council Vice President Jawando and EC Chair, and then HHS Chair Albornoz and the entire council this morning sitting. When we looked at this CIP, we looked at a lens that was equitable, was cost beneficial, and would provide accessible spaces, coupled with the relationship that we have, partnership that we have with MCPS, and looking at those areas that would be cost beneficial, which would also be a rider, if you will, with some of the spaces and MCPS's CIP. I also want to thank Ms. Hernandez for all the great work that you continue to do in this space and taking over for Ms. Yao. So we put a lot of time and effort. I appreciate the joint committee session that we had in discussing this and working through this to look at a realistic but workable budget. As Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez indicated, there may be adjustments in the out years, but looking at the current CIP based on the executive recommendation. So I'll stop there with those remarks and turn it over to my colleague, Director Dice.
I'll just add that the ADA efforts and the playground efforts are moving on track. Everything's going very well. There's not much difficulty associated with those. And as Dr. Bridgers pointed out, the child care renovations themselves will vary markedly based upon the existing condition of the facility or the site conditions of in the construction of a new facility, which was the case with the MLK project. So we'll continue to adjust those, and my commitment was to keep the committee informed as things develop.
Great. Thank you to both committees for their work on this. And Ms. Rodriguez Hernandez, thank you for that. I think this is your first time before the full council, at least this time around. So it is good to have you back, and thank you, particularly as we're starting budget. So thank you very much. All right, we will move on to our final CIP work session today, and that is for the Maryland National Park and Planning Commission. And I'm going to ask Council Vice President Jawando as a representative from the PHP committee to take us through that.
Wonderful. We have Ms. Dunn with us. These were minor adjustments related to the park acquisitions that reduced MNCPPC bond revenue by $15,000 in FY29 and $9,000 in FY30. This was to be in line with the county executive's request and affordability guidelines. And we had unanimous support for the list of projects designated as pending closeout, and I'll let Ms. Dunn mention any of those if she thinks we need to. And unanimous approval of the text correction for the facility planning local parks PDF. But Ms. Dunn, any context there?
Good morning, Council. I don't think there's anything of material to add to that. This was probably the lightest lift on the park CIP that we've had in a while. I know it's an amendment. And I'll also reiterate that in the package that you received with your operating budget, there will be another affordability reconciliation PDF for the Parks Department related to government obligation bonds. So you'll be reviewing that in the weeks ahead. But as for what's before you, it was very minor and very administrative almost in nature, and so unanimously supported by the committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, great. Not seeing anyone else who would like to speak on this. Thank you very much to the committee and to Ms. Dunn. The council is expected to hold work sessions on additional capital improvement program amendments next week, and the council will vote on the CIP amendments along with the operating budget in May. So thank you, everyone who helped us walk through all that. Our next item is item 11, which is a motion to approve the consent calendar. Do I have a motion? Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez moved. Councilmember Balcom second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that is everyone present here on the dais and Councilmember Sales virtual. That is it for our council session this morning. We are in recess till 1:30. Thank you all.